So with the new dashboard, we have introduced this concept of application management. And all that means is you're able to logically separate data between different applications. Now, as a dashboard only user, you may choose to use that very differently to how we would a development only or a combination of both. But we'll run through what that means for you. Now, you can see here we've got a demo application. Demo application is just automatically created when you join up to the dashboard, essentially. It may or may not contain some data depending on how you've chosen to migrate over. It cannot be deleted, but it can be used if you decide to. Look, depending on your processes as a business, you may also wish to utilize this in order to create a new application for each staff member. And so that will allow you to logically separate all of that staff member's data, which would mean, perhaps their users and their users' assessments, affordability assessments, accounts, transactions, things like that. So you could choose to use it almost as a user profile. Now, let's have a little look at how you would go about doing some of the things when it comes to managing applications. You can see we've got this side navigation here, and if you want to switch between different applications, you can do so just by clicking on the one at the top, and you can see we've got a couple of applications here. One is called data validation and another is called demo application. These are ones I've just created. This one's just something I've created earlier, but let's go about creating a new one. Now, you can do that via create new application, or you can also do that via clicking on the All Applications tab, which will bring you up to an extended menu. Let's do it this way first, and I'll show you the extended menu afterwards. So let's say I have a new staff member joining, and I'm choosing to create a new application for them to hold all of their users. We can add that in here, and we can call it Vanessa Doe. We're going to leave the region as Australia, and then I'm going to create that application. So now she has her own application, which means that she's got her own list of users, and she can go in and she can create affordability assessments, whatnot, based specifically on her user list. That's optional, again. You may decide that Vanessa needs to be on someone else's, or perhaps you've created this by mistake, or maybe you need to edit her application. What you would do here is you would click into this, and rather than use that quick change, we're going to jump into all applications, and from this extended menu, this is similar to the create application we just used, now we can jump into here and we can edit by clicking on that little pencil. Maybe she's gotten married and she wants to change her name to Smith. You can change that. You can also jump in, you can actually disable the application if perhaps she's left. And you can also then remove the application entirely. So let's say we're going to remove that application. We've created it by accident and we want to delete it. Now, just to be clear, deleting is not recommended unless you have a very, very good use case. It is permanent and you will lose the data that's associated with the application. So probably, unless you're 100% certain, it's better to use the disabled, which you can then go in and filter by when you look at all of your applications. Now, one other thing that's worth mentioning is this little icon up here is always going to tell you the current application that you are working on. So switching between is very easy to do. If you're going to make changes such as adding a user, generating an API key, or adding a permission set, anything like that, it's worth just double checking what application you're logged into, because it will only apply to that application. So let's say I wanted to add a permission set for a different application, which is the demo application. You would need to switch over before you start making any changes.